Well, everybody wants more Spider-Man, and it looks like Sony Studios is trying to give it to us. Earlier today, we got a report from Variety, and it appears a live-action series is coming to Amazon, and it's not Silk. Are you ready for Spider-Man Noir? Well, earlier today, we got a little bit of a report from Variety, and I have to say, I was completely caught off guard. Now, what they are reporting is a Spider-Man Noir live-action series is currently in the works over at Amazon. Now, the series is currently untitled, but if you know the comic, it actually follows a much older and grizzled version of the superhero in the 1930s New York City. Now, Variety reported that an individual with direct knowledge of the project says the show will indeed be set in its own universe, and the main character will not be Peter Parker. Now, as many of you know, this is the second Spider-Man Sony project that's found life over at Amazon and MGM. It was previously announced that Amazon was moving forward with a series based on the character Silk. The show is called Silk Spider Society and is currently being developed by showrunner Angela Kang. Now, we had heard for a while that several other projects would be coming to Amazon, and this one is a fan favorite and should bring a lot of attention to these Sony projects. Now, Variety did go on to report that Oren Azil will serve as writer and executive producer on the show, and will develop the show alongside Philip Lord and Christopher Miller, who are front and center in the animated Spider-Verse movie, which did use Spider-Man Noir in the first one, and also Sony boss Amy Pascal will executive produce. If you're unfamiliar with Azil, their most famous work was the romantic comedy The Lost City, but also has other writing credits including 22 Jump Street, 2021's Mortal Kombat, and the Cloverfield Paradox. He also worked on scripts for 2 upcoming movies including John Wick 4 and Borderlands, so it appears Sony has grabbed some up-and-coming talent to develop the project. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Spider-Man Noir, that's perfectly okay, but it did originally debut back in 2009 as part of Marvel's Noir universe. This version is quite different than the version we all know as Peter Parker, and lives in New York City during the Great Depression. Now, in the comic, he's bitten by a spider which is hidden inside of a stolen artifact, causing him to have visions of a spider god who grants him his superpowers, which I find really interesting because I think this aspect of the spider god or spider totem may very well be part of Madam Web. Now, the character has come to life before in animation in both the Ultimate Spider-Man series and of course Into the Spider-Verse, where he was played by Nicolas Cage. The questions are already being asked if Nick Cage will be cast in this role, and that obviously hasn't been confirmed or even talked about as far as we know, but I think that might be perfect and would make fans extremely excited for the character. Now, where this fits into Sony's larger Spider-Man universe, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I have to say, this is huge news, and Spider-Man Noir has a massive following amongst comic fans. He's a really cool character, and I really can't wait to see what Amazon, Sony, and Marvel bring us with this project. More Spider-Man is always good, and I don't think this is going to disappoint at all.